Hi, everybody. I'm Ann Murado, Director of Brand Content Strategy for Modern Salon. And I am so delighted to be sitting across from Amy Errett. Amy is the CEO and founder of Madison Reed, an omnichannel beauty brand. And Amy, here at Modern Salon, we're very familiar with Madison Reed. So I'm delighted to be able to speak with you. And I wanted to jump right in with a few questions, if that's okay.
That's great. Thank you so much for having me.
Terrific. So we have heard that you're going to be opening Madison Reed salons across the country with close to 100 locations by the end of next year. And we're all very familiar with Madison Reed as an at-home hair color company. But now you're going through this evolution, opening these salon locations. And I'd like to know why you thought this was a natural and really necessary evolution of the brand.
Yeah. So as many of you know, we started the business initially at home with a great sort of low chemical profile product that we feel fantastic about, that salon quality. And that went really, really well. And we, one of the things that people don't know about Madison Reed is our call center has always had certified licensed colorists in it. So from the beginning, we were employing about 50 people who basically role was to help the customer get comfortable with this at-home product, color matching, all those kinds of things. I saw very quickly through those relationships that I had, because there's folklore in the company that in the beginning I stood between all of the colorists, and I did. And when the phones would ring, I would be listening to the conversations and sort of seeing the talent that existed in the room was extraordinary. And what I mean by that is it was really clear to me that these colorists were the key to the brand. They knew everything. They were hungry to have their careers move in positive ways. And actually, many of them loved the technology aspect of the company. And so about 3 years in, we made a decision to do a very small pop-up in New York of the same concept of a hair color bar. It was a big hit with our customers, but it was as much a big hit with the colorist who we had hired, who loved this concept and actually loved a lot of pieces around the company's values, mission, what we stand for, full-time benefits if they're a full-time employee. So there was a lot of things that we saw very, very quickly that was as much about the colorist and career and future. And, you know, we've had a series of people that started in our call center who then went to hair color bars that are now formulating color, training, education, those kinds of things. So the real issue underneath this for us was clearly that we saw that there were a group of people who really wanted an expanded career opportunity. And we feel like and have felt like we're the right place for that to happen. So that's the underlying story of what has happened. And in fact, during COVID, you know, we had at that point 12 stores open and about 170 people, and we didn't lay anyone off. We closed all of our stores. We did not lay off one colorist. We moved everyone to the call center. And you know, I am very proud that we did that. And what I know to be true is this is a profession that some company needs to put their stake in the ground about really paying attention to these team members' lives and their future and their career opportunities. And we think we're the company that's going to do that.
That's a natural segue into my next question, because, you know, I guess it would be a bit of an understatement to say that stylists across the country had a difficult time during COVID.
Absolutely.
So now, as they are looking for a salon home, salon culture, company values, those are things that are really important to them when making their employment decisions.
Absolutely.
So can you talk a little bit more and describe the culture at Madison Reed?
Yeah. I think the most interesting part for me, and many of you are aware of the fact that I didn't come from the salon industry. So, you know, maybe a slightly unlikely person to start the business. But really underneath it, my whole career has been based on creating companies where diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging have been in the forefront. And I believe that team members are everything. They make your company. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It's all about your team. At Madison Reed, we talk about 5 values, courage, love, trust, responsibility, and joy. We live those. And I think the biggest sort of differentiator that I'd say about the company as in correlation with our hair color bars is really the following. This is very much a we culture. And what I mean by it is that what many of the colorists that come to work at Madison Reed talk about all the time. By the way, I go into every store, I'm there, I talk to all team members, I know them, I'm engaged as other executive leadership is. And all the clients, I actually sit down and interrupt them while they're on their iPhones, because that's where they typically are while their hair is processing. And I'm like, can I talk to you for a minute? Excuse me. And they look at me. And that's great to have that relationship and hear how the clients feel, which, by the way, just as a segue, the clients love the experience and they love the team members. And what I learned very quickly is that we're very different. We are a we culture. And so what do I mean by that is team members in the hair color bars tell me all the time, like, I've never worked somewhere where someone else had my back, where we were a team together, where we were building something, where today, if I picked somebody else's client up, they were picking my client up. I was covering, somebody had a problem, couldn't come in that day. We worked it out. Like, there's a sense of accomplishment in a store that's very different when the team is cohesive and lives those values. So I would say this team orientation is, to some extent, and I hate to say it, someone joins and they're almost like startled. They're like, geez, this is really happening here. So, we're proud of that. We want to perpetuate that. We are engaged in career laddering and understanding other opportunities for leadership. Whether someone wants to just stay in store as a colorist, awesome. We're adding more products and features. So there's more things people, are doing, which is exciting to them. And frankly, we've had lots of people who've been in the stores that want to try out being in the call center, or we have video consultation. We have a lot of people who want to do that. And we are very flexible, go into education and training, which is a big area for us. So we're excited about the opportunity, and we think the values drive everything, and we're serious about them.
Yeah, no I in team, right?
No I in team. And I just, if you look at companies or groups of people that succeed, it's typically because there is a sense of accomplishment because you're all playing a role.
And having a career path, as you
Absolutely.
described. So
absolutely.
I'd like to talk to that point a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you talk about your hair color bar business model inside the salon and how that works for the stylist
Yes.
and the client?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we started right from the beginning was a proprietary technology environment in the salon, where we are allowing colorists to maximize their time, which maximizes their compensation. So this is a very important factor. I don't know much about traditional salons, so I can't comment there. But what I know is that we have this very unique scheduling system that allows colorists to see 2 clients per hour because of how chairs are used. And in addition, how much support there is around, and because hair color requires processing time, right? So if someone's in the chair and they do someone's hair, there's a usually 40-minute, 35-minute break. What happens is there is super high commission and tip earning potential. So on average, our colorist, I want people to hear this, is earning $65,000 a year on average. We have some people that are earning $80,000+ a year, plus benefits and perks. So this whole thing that we're talking about could be good words. You know, it is, there are little subtle things like our color has no smell, right? It seems like a very subtle thing, but if you're standing behind the chair for 8 hours, there's no smell. There's no, you know, this is not the toxicity of the product is different, right? We've worked on that ingredient story. The client experiences that, which makes happier clients, right? And so at the end of the day, this all doesn't work unless the colorist has both a career path and an earning potential. But when I look at the industry average of what a colorist is making, it's not $80,000 a year. It is not an upside potential where, you know, we provide all the tools, all the clients, right? We provide all the technology from a booking standpoint. So we're not looking for, colorists don't buy their own tubes of color, right? Like these are all things in terms of, it sounds from a business perspective, their pay is not net of something else, right? It is their pay. We're really proud of our benefits system, you know, very comprehensive, every single state. We pay those benefits. We are proud to pay those benefits. I am a believer that everybody deserves to have health care for themselves and their family. So we're really proud that we can do this, and we're going to get more and more sophisticated as time goes on. You know, the truth here is we have 37 open now. We'll have 50 by the end of this year. We also have a small concept set of stores that aren't services, but mostly related to actually color matching, because the other part that the stylist gets to do here is they get to have a relationship with customers who might want to understand more about hair color, right? And that isn't the normal thing that happens in the salon, where they're actually getting to use their trade to explain and educate to a customer. Next year will be probably north of 40. We're already have signed a ton of leases. So we'll bump up to that 100 very quickly. And we're excited about it. We're just, you know, we're getting revved up in terms of our recruiting processes. And but the team part of this is really the key. And I always say to someone that if you can be part of a great team, part of a company that you love, that loves you, that puts you first and cares about you, and you make a great living with career opportunities, it's a pretty good mix.
Yeah, and news of salons opening as opposed to the opposite, which is what we saw unfortunately during COVID, is such good news. You also talked about your no fragrance color, your ingredient panel, the formulation of your products, it sounds like, from the outset.
Yep.
You were very involved, and it was very important to you to have ingredients that you could feel good about and stand behind. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because yes, as you mentioned, for a stylist using products, involved with products, hands in products all day, that's very important. Can you talk a little bit about that? And also, if there's anything in the pipeline that you want to preview, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you hit the nail on the head. You know, we have an 8-free formula. So we believe that we've been really leading the industry. When I started this company 7 years ago, and I want to be really clear, when I told people about working on the ingredient profile, they thought I had lost my mind. They're like, women don't care. They just want their hair to be colored. And my response to that is, well, we care. And so our job has been over 7 years to educate. And frankly, there's been a lot of fast followers to our product. And that's great, right? Because for us, this is about the stylist, and it's also about the clients. And, you know, most people don't know this, but 15 to 20% of a stylist customers has some sort of allergy. They have some sort of reaction to classic hair color. And, you know, stylists put sweet and low in, right? There's all these, Amy's learned all these little tricks. And so we went to work right away by saying, this doesn't make any sense. Let's just formulate that from the beginning. So we feel really good about that. We're Leaping Bunny certified as well, which means that, you know, if this is, none of these ingredients are tested in terms of on animals. And now close to 60 shades. So, we're getting up there in the ability for us to, we can match any single color easily. One of the things that we haven't offered yet is a full highlight product. We have a balayage product called Lightworks. It won Allure's Beauty Product of the Year. We have had blowouts, but those blowouts have been more what I would consider to be not premium, because one of the things that's super interesting is a lot of our customers' time is their issue, right? They want to be in and out of the salon within a 75-minute period. So for many people, self blow dry station, great, they use it. But a lot of our clients want a premium blowout, and you'll see us adding that, and you'll see us adding highlights. And so artistry there's a lot of artistry in our color, but there'll be more added artistry for these stylists. And then, I just want to add this piece because it's not very clear to people, but content and education for our customer base, our client base is really, really critical. And we have lots of our colorists that are embedded in our content, created content, photo shoots that we do, lots of events that we sponsor where our stylists are included in that. I can't talk about what this is, but a very big partnership that we'll be rolling out with a very big set of brand names. Our stylists have been embedded in those conversations. So I think the important part here is the product quality, I think, is superior. We will not introduce anything that doesn't have that 8-free formula. This is a standard in the company. It's part of what we talk about around integrity. And we're also very engaged with hearing from our team members what the clients want, what they want. So I think the other part of this is, for people that are interested in Madison Reed, you're coming to a company where your input's going to matter. Right? We don't have every answer, and that's the truth, right? We have great people we've hired from the industry, but our best ideas have come from our colorists and stylists that have joined the company by far. And I think they'll be surprised at the amount of, I know all the people, most people haven't met a founder in a company because it's just a different kind of company. This is personal.
And what you mentioned, they're embedded. So being involved in their own strategy in developing, to be empowered that way is
we're not interested in employees, right? Like, we're interested in bringing in team members, as I call them. We do not call our folks employees, and we do not call somebody you report to your boss. We call them your coach. And these are words that are important, because what they really are saying is, this isn't like stacked hierarchical organization that's trying to use, bureaucracy and a power base to make decisions about people. I know from the beginning of standing in between the stylist answering the phones, who's saying to me, Amy, what do I do? I'm like, answer the phone. Let's go through it. Is that this is the colorist are our brand. You can believe that someone hides behind a computer screen, selling somebody a product or hair color. We've always been in the business of putting our colorists, whether it's in our call center, chat, video chat, up front, obviously in our hair color bars, the same thing, because that is who makes the magic. I don't make the magic, right? The magic happens every day because we have extraordinary people who love this brand, who want their work to matter, who want to be well compensated for that. And we want them to, I want them to make unlimited amounts of money. It's in everyone's best interest that their lives are great and they love their work.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're singing our song here. That's where our missions are aligned. Great. I have a question following this. I know that Madison Reed has some special initiatives rolling out to support stylists. I've heard about a scholarship program that you have. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. We have a exciting new partnership with Beauty Changes Lives Foundation. We're super excited about that. We are actually offering $5,000 scholarships. So for a total of $25,000 to be awarded this fall. The eligibility is either new or currently enrolled students in any cosmetology program. There's an application window that we'll announce, which is going to be September 1st to November 30th. We're super excited about this because, again, I have a set of beliefs that actually most folks in the industry are coming out of cosmetology school in debt. Let's just say what it is. This is not an industry where you just, geez, I used to do somebody's hair. Let me walk into these are skilled artists that have gone to school and been trained and apprenticed. And I don't really think that I don't think most consumers in the world understand that these are very talented people, but they're also paying a decent amount to get trained. And so one of the things that we are really focused on is how they can make the most money and get great jobs with us, but also how we can start to get involved in helping them in terms of scholarships financially. And we're looking, I can't announce it, but you can imagine the kinds of things we're looking at. We're looking at all sorts of things to help financially take care of those issues. Ultimately, this is a big, bold statement, but I'm going to say it and put it out here. We will become the best place to work for them, for everyone, for those team members, the best. We're just getting started. And that means that we have to learn more about the industry, understand the wants and needs. There are some things that we may offer to people in our headquarters that are not relevant to a stylist, but there are many things, whether those things, of course, benefits, but childcare, like there are things that we have come to understand because, we are sitting today with over 350, close to 400 stylists that work at Madison Reed. It's not a small number, and it's growing dramatically. There will be thousands of people. So our job is to understand the needs, wants, desires of a group of people, a group of team members that represent our brand. And we need to be the best place to work to do that. So the scholarship's super exciting. We're honored to be doing it. We're going to do more of these things. I urge people that are listening to this, there'll be a lot of details about how you apply to it. There's a lot of interesting questions because we're really interested in bringing diverse stylists as well into Madison Reed. And we have a huge diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging effort inside the company. So we are asking people some very interesting questions and hoping to spark some great dialogue. And then we'll select 5 folks and that'll grow and flourish and get bigger, and there'll be more things that we'll be offering too.
Terrific. So you've been so generous with your time. We've been able to cover a lot of ground. Is there anything I didn't ask you, Amy, that you feel is really important to share as we wrap up?
I think the last thing that I'd say is that, if folks want to be part of something that has a purpose and a meaning, I think people might not know this. You may hear radio commercials and various things. The company is named after my daughter. The reason that is not because it's named after just my daughter. It's metaphoric to the empowerment that I want people to feel. And this is a brand that has a big open tent, as I call it. Everyone's welcome. Every client's welcome. Every stylist, every team member is welcome here at Madison Reed. We want people to be seen for their talents, for their full opportunities of who they are, what they bring. And I think that the majority of people that work here, when I go into a store, pull me aside and say, like, I thought you were just telling me something, but this is really true. So, this is being part of a community that has a purpose. And I want people to be empowered and seen for those talents. And I'll close on this. I've spent a lot of time with colorists, a lot. I started the company 7 years ago. As I said, I stood in that huddle. I've been intimately involved in everything that we've done. And I have to tell you that I have met some of the most extraordinary people. And it's changed my life. And so the mission of this company is yes, ingredients, yes, clients loving what we do, yes, empowering our clients. And right up there in the mission of this company is, I know that a team member's experience equals your client's experience, right? So, what I come to understand is without building this extraordinary culture, this company doesn't have the purpose. And I'm a pretty purpose-driven person. So I get up every day and I'm pretty excited about changing these lives. We are going to change these lives. And that is a mission that I was astounded as I got into the industry about how little opportunity there was. I just couldn't believe it. And so I've been very fortunate in my life, right? I've had a lot of opportunities to do a lot of exciting, interesting things, but lots of people haven't. And we need to break that cycle. And this company is going to do that. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Amy, Errett, thank you for giving us this update and this peek into Madison Reed and all that's happening with it. And it's really, truly been a pleasure to speak.
Well, and I just want to also say thank you for having a great vehicle and publication for people in the industry. I know it's the gold standard. So we're just happy to be talking to you and associated in any way. And you can always count on us to help.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks.